Hejsan svejsan, and welcome to the
Freak Audio Lab.
I am here with my buddy, my good friend Linus, Mr. Abrahamson. We have spoken a little bit about you before. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have. I can't do shit without Linus. The backstory to this video is that I used to write my own notation locked up in a German hotel room, making piles and piles of paper. And Linus, you were one of the innocent students that had to read it and sort of got migraine looking at it because I used up everything and I took forever and it wasn't really that good. So one of these years, when was that? You said that enough, I can do this much better. I am very good at this, and damn good you are, eh?
Why, thank you. Well, I think it was around 2007 somewhere where I said I think I can do this more efficiently.
Yeah, very much so.
So I took the booklet that you did that was almost 100 pages and I compressed it into 33 pages, yes. So 1/3 of it. And I think I sent it to you, yeah. And I said something along the lines of "Let's save the rainforest."
Exactly, we're saving the rainforest. We're doing a good thing.
That was my pitch, yes. For letting me do it.
We have our annual Freak Guitar Camp notation bash.
Yep.
And this is, I asked you yesterday, are you prepared? And you said, I don't know.
Exactly. That's always the thing, because whenever I get here, it's something new that breaks my mind. Yeah. So you can never really prepare. You can always prepare to be broken.
Oh, you're doing it in such a grand way. We've been writing now for 12 hours straight, a short pizza break.
Yep.
And we completed the first beefy track, a 14-minute piece, which is danceable if you have unorthodox legs.
And mind.
Yeah. But you did it. You did it. You pulled it off and you're still okay.
I'm still okay.
Yeah.
We worked it out.
Yeah.
We've done this for so long that I think we've found some common ground.
Yeah.
With terminology, etc.
Very much so.
I think we've reached the part where the problem is not what the music is. Yeah. It's how we're going to put it in the program.
Exactly.
You can always communicate to me what you mean, what your intentions are, and what the music is supposed to be like, and all the rhythmic complexities, and I understand what you mean, and I know how I want it to be in the software. Yeah. But the software doesn't always agree.
Oh no, it's been a serious case of headache for a bunch of years. Last year, which one was the worst one so far that you had to rewrite and rewrite again and again and use various notation softwares to actually make it come to life?
The last one we did last year was one of them, and also Big Machine.
Oh yeah. So that was Variation 21. Yeah. We can have a look at this right now. But it doesn't feel like it. So just another version of just a straight drum beat, and then you can realize how ridiculous it is next to the beat. But I love it, and it has to be written down. Somebody has to do this shit, and you had to make the black dots. And Big Machine, there was
a similar thing. Yeah, similar thing with tuplets bleeding over the bar line and rhythm starting over on not the same part of the beat even.
Yeah.
And that makes everything shifted off. With beaming in notation and everything, so you can't just copy paste. You have to adjust everything, and when you can't even make it cross the bar line properly, then comes a major fault in the software, I think.
Yeah.
And some software for this do the copy paste thing very well, but then they suck at the tablature thing.
Yeah.
And then you have another problem.
Yes.
So then you choose another software. But then that has the reverse problem.
Exactly. It's only for classical musicians.
Yeah, mostly, or modern classical or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are plenty of notation programs out there. Some are free, some are expensive, and some are middle ground.
Yeah.
But they all have their faults when it comes to this type of music. As I know, none of the big software can do this the way we want it to.
Exactly, and I think it has a lot to do with, for me, for instance, you know me, I'm into the dum and all that stuff, and that doesn't really blend well. First of all, I mean, you write it the correct way, the true way. And I look at it and it says, bloody hell, this looks way more complicated. This is just... And there's like, what? The black dots don't correspond with the music.
Those two worlds aren't meant to collide.
We should invent a software where you can write Konokol at the same time as the notation, because sometimes it's just... It looks too complicated. You look at it and you're about to puke. I will never do this. And then somebody says, datum darigiradum. So, oh, it's only a datum darigiradum. I think it was last year where we had to give it up.
Yeah.
You wrote like a fake version and say, ignore
the bar lines.
Ignore the bar lines. Just play it as it is. And then I'll find a way, maybe in September, after the Free Guitar Camp is in the can.
Yeah.
And you did. And then we email,
yeah.
Okay, it's corrected now.
Yeah,
so
and
you
we
had to go from
the PDF and everything. So.
Yeah, you had to go from Guitar Pro, and then did you manage to sort it out in Sibelius?
Yes, I did it in Sibelius, and then I had also just begun to meddle a bit with Dorico from Steinberg.
Okay. Yeah.
And I did a version of that as well. It's workarounds with all of the versions. It's not just intuitively as the program intended you to do it. It's always some kind of backdoor.
Yeah, absolutely. But you are a veteran Free Guitar Camper yourself. You started out in what?
2000. So the first time it was out in the woods.
Yeah. 2000. You were just a young man.
20 years.
Oh, fucking hell. Can you say this? Yes. Yes, you can. If you have a Quake coffee mug, you can say anything. I am protected. When did your fascination for the black dots begin?
I think it began even before I started playing music. Because my dad was a musician. And he was always practicing the piano or the organ or writing sheet music for choir arrangements. So I was always fascinated by what he was doing. And I remember scribbling black dots on a paper just to make it look somewhat look like what he was doing. Yeah, and just trying to copy how it looked. Yeah. And that evolved into when I started playing bass myself and learned how to actually write them for real.
Yeah.
And since then, the passion has just grown. I mean, it's an art form. I've said that before, and I'm gonna say it again. That it's beautiful to look at if it's done properly.
Yes, very much so.
Like people say about math.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree totally. There's universal truth in here. I have a Stravinsky piano score, right, of strings for 2 pianos, and sometimes when I take a dump, I have a look at it because it's just beautiful shapes and it's just music, math can be beautiful, and notation certainly, especially when you write it.
And it can also be very ugly. Yes. If someone does it badly, it can be really, really horrible.
I mean, just when we did this 14-minute disco Indian heavy metal piece today, it's really the reward to have a look at it and play through for the first time. You know, just me syncing with the notation. It's really, really rewarding. And for me, again, just to have it manifested into black dots on a white paper. It's amazing. I love it. And sometimes I spend so much time in the bathroom, my legs get numb. It's like, wow, I did this. I don't understand what I did. But so yes, you're amazing. I love you, man. It's very, very good. No, thank you. Oh, we're gonna work back. This will be funny in double time. Double time.
Hello, and welcome to the Freak Audio Lab in double time.
So, how do we do this process?
Well, it's been a process in development.
Yes.
Because when we started out, when you started out, you did it yourself, as you said.
Yeah.
And the first time, I just rewrote what you did.
True.
And then the time after that, you sent me audio files. And that worked out so. That was very hard.
Yes, because you were not living close to me.
No.
Just sit tight and continue talking.
Yep. Exactly. I couldn't see what you were doing, and you couldn't really explain it to me because we were very far apart.
Exactly.
So then you sent me some video files for the really tricky parts.
Yeah, probably not much better because you need to meet to do this stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's
and so that's what we did the time after that.
Yeah.
And since then, that has been the way we do it. We meet up for 2 days.
Yeah, because you moved closer as well, and you used to sleep over here, but now you have your house just 10 minutes or 15 minutes away.
Exactly.
So this is good. So basically, I sit and say, all right, 7th fret of the G string, it's a D. And then you put D, and then daga-daga-da-daga-daga-da-doom.
Exactly.
So that's, and measure by measure, we take it apart. And then we, again, when we're done, we do this proof, listening, playing, reading.
Here's where our common ground is really important.
Yes.
Because otherwise, explaining this to someone for the first time, the whole core vi thing and the whole rhythmic concept.
Impossible.
Yeah. So now you just have to say, all right, it's this pattern.
Yeah.
In this mode.
Yes.
Go write it.
Yeah,
and you go write some emails, and I do that for 5 minutes, and then I say, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah.
And then we check it out, and it's usually
very much so.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, it's based on this rag, and today we had a new rag called the Nilamani.
Yeah.
And then it's super smooth. And then, how are you doing, Linus? Because you're quiet and then no, and you realize, the 16th note is missing.
Yeah,
and you have to rewrite. And
exactly, that's the problem, because as I'm using Guitar Pro, and the advantages are that it's really quick.
Yeah.
Because when I sit here, I can't sit and just battle the program to do what I want. No. It's too much time consuming, and that's what I did with Sibelius at first, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't profitable time-wise.
No.
So I switched to Guitar Pro because it's so much quicker for guitar-related stuff, especially when you are using tablature and notation, because those two in Guitar Pro are linked together. So if you edit one thing, the other one follows along.
Yeah.
But the downside is that you can't really just copy and paste stuff.
No.
Because it doesn't work that way. With the beaming and everything,
you're very sensitive to beaming.
Yeah. No.
I am not.
Foil hat.
Yeah, exactly. Tinfoil hat.
Tinfoil hat.
Yes.
Yep. So whenever I make a mistake, like it's this whole progress of like 75 16ths, which we have actually had today. Yeah. And then you realize, I missed a 16th note in the middle, and then everything, you just have to scrap it and do it again.
Yes.
And that is one of those moments.
Yeah, today has been tough but productive. Tomorrow, I mean, you're writing this booklet in 2 days.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because there's it's a lot of music. It's a lot of music. Just this piece is 14 minutes, and it's not really, there's a disco vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's been, the Swedish Indian kind of live outside in the woods Freak Audio Lab kind of style, and therefore it's sneaky stuff at times.
And it's always, for me at least, it's always a battle between doing it the ultra correct way and doing it the way that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a balance, and I get in arguments a lot with people in the industry about this, about how things like this are supposed to be, because there are those who think that you have to follow the rules dead.
But you can't when it comes to this music. It would look insane.
Exactly, because there's always the balance between it has to make sense. You have to write it so that you understand what the intention is. And that kind of music is not. It's not made for Western notation in the classical sense.
Yeah, I remember many times at the free guitar camp when some campers who are really good at reading and open a certain page is like, oh, slight bluish, you know, look in the face, like, oh, they dream about certain pages. It's just, I wake up in November, so, but again, it's not done for the sake of being complicated. It's done to, I don't know, what do you say, push the envelope, really try to break some new ground and move on. And I'm just really interested in seeing what's lurking behind the corner. And that's why I make music. And I get so happy when I manifest something that I haven't done before and feel, okay, this is the new black, at least for me. Maybe nobody else gives a shit or likes it, but I like it. And hopefully there are enough weirdos out there who likes it. And you can put it down on paper, so it's a perfect match. You have a YouTube channel of your own.
I do.
Yes. Have a look. Mr. Gruelling, or where is it? Linus Abrahamson?
It's Mr. Gruelling. I do. Lately, I've been doing some transcription-related things.
Yeah. Do you, if someone wants to hire you for certain projects, can they contact you?
Indeed.
Contact him. He's on all social media platforms. And he's wearing a yellow shirt. Gul, yellow. What's on your shirt? Oh, it's Han Solo.
With a bass. Solo. It's a bass solo.
Any last words?
Last words. Final goodbye. Say your last goodbyes. Can I sleep now?
Yes. Oh, you never do. I dragged him here 10 o'clock, and I said, at 10 o'clock I've been awake for 4 hours. And I said, can we meet at 11? That's a compromise, because I'm usually up about 3 in the afternoon. No fucking way. You're gonna be here at 10. 10 is late for me.
Yeah.
So, get some sleep.
And get lots of coffee.
And see you tomorrow. So, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Free Audio Lab. Linus. Woohoo!
Yay!